Have you ever felt like you want more out of life? You feel kind of stuck, but you're just not sure where to even start? Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. We're about to break down a super simple but really powerful 3-step framework that can totally transform your life. Let's get into it. Now, this might sound a little backward, right? I mean, we're taught to grind, work hard at our jobs, climb that ladder. But the idea here is that your outside world, it's just a reflection of your inside world. Your income, for example, it almost never outgrows your own personal development. Sure, you might get lucky for a bit, but life has a funny way of bringing you back down to your level. Real, lasting change, it always starts from the inside out. This really just flips the script on how we think about success. We picture ourselves chasing after it, trying to catch it. But the truth is, success is something you attract. It's like a magnet. It's drawn to the value you bring, the skills you develop, the person you become. So instead of running after success, you got to work on yourself. Happiness isn't about what you get. It's all about who you become along the way. All right, so if you're ready for that change, where do we even begin? It all kicks off with step 1. Find out. This is the foundation, you guys. To change your life, you need the right ideas. And believe me, there is absolutely nothing an idea cannot change. So many of us think, man, if I just had more money, all my problems would disappear. But that's where we get it twisted. The real issue usually isn't a lack of cash. It's a lack of good ideas on how to create that cash. If you get the right ideas, you can change anything. So we got to stop focusing on what we don't have and start focusing on what we need to find out. So how do we find these amazing life-changing ideas? It's actually pretty simple. There are 3 main ways to figure out how things work and how to change pretty much any part of your life. Number 1, you read. Number 2, you listen. And number 3, you observe. Let's break them down. People who are truly successful are almost always readers. But it's not about just following what a book says. It's about becoming a student of life. Yeah, you can learn from your own experience, but man, that is a slow teacher. It's so much smarter to learn from other people's mistakes. One good book from someone who's already figured it out could literally save you 5 years of just fumbling around in the dark. Next up, we've got listening. And it's so important to listen to everyone. Of course, you listen to successful people to see what to do, but you should also listen to unsuccessful people and take notes on what not to do. I mean, think about it. If you figure out what keeps people stuck and broke, you know exactly what to avoid. Learning from the negative is just as powerful as learning from the positive. Whoa, okay. This one's a little provocative, right? But it makes a brilliant point about investing in knowledge. The typical thought is, he's rich, let him buy his own dinner. But that's the kind of thinking that keeps you right where you are. Imagine spending $100 to sit down with someone who is crushing it. In just 2 hours, they could give you ideas that could literally change your life, double your income, and save you years of struggle. That is the best investment you could ever make. And now for the 3rd way to find out, observation. You got to become a detective. Get around successful people and just watch. Success isn't random. It's not a mystery. It leaves clues. People who do well, they do certain things over and over again. If you're a clever observer, you can pick up on those patterns. But there's a big difference between just looking at something and truly observing. There are 2 ways to see. The first is with your eyes. That's sight. It lets you see things. But the second and way more powerful way is insight. That's seeing with your mind. And that is what lets you see answers and opportunities that everybody else just walks right past. So, how do you get this superpower of insight? The advice is so simple, it's almost easy to miss. Ready? Pay attention. Don't miss a thing. When you're at work, be at work. When you're with your kids, be with your kids. Wherever you are, be there. Being fully present, that's the real secret to becoming a great observer. Okay, so we've gathered all these amazing ideas from reading, listening, observing. Our heads are full. But ideas by themselves are totally worthless. And that brings us to the most essential step of all. Step 2, go to work. This is where everything starts to happen. This is such a critical point. If you just collect information and let it sit in your head, nothing's going to change. You just become what some people call a fool. Someone who knows exactly what to do but doesn't do it. The whole goal is to let your learning lead directly to action. That's how you become wealthy, not just with money, but in every part of your life. So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? We all know we should eat better, or save more, or start that business. But what's the secret sauce? What's the thing that actually makes you get up and do the stuff you know you need to do? What's that driving force? The answer is discipline. And I know that word can sound kind of harsh, like punishment, but forget that. Think of discipline like a muscle. You don't walk into a gym for the first time and try to lift the heaviest weight, right? You start small. Get excited about the little disciplines, making your bed, reading 10 pages. Every time you do those small things, you're building that muscle. You're getting stronger. So when life throws the really big challenges at you, you'll be ready. And where does that discipline come from? Well, it has to come from you. So many of us are just waiting for someone else to come along and light a fire under us. But what if that person never shows up? You've got to have a better plan for your life than that. The only motivation you can ever really count on, the only kind that truly exists, is self-motivation. Okay, so you have the ideas. You're taking action. There's just one final step, and this one is like a critical warning label. Step 3 is simple. Play it straight. Some people, they learn just enough to start trying to cut corners. They look for the angles, the loopholes, the ways to beat this system. Don't fall into that trap. The real sustainable path to success is to find out how the system works best and then just work it. Do it the right way. Don't compromise your integrity for a quick win. And here's a powerful warning for you. When you start looking for shortcuts and cheap answers, you're going to end up with a cheap result. Your integrity is the most valuable thing you own. Protect it. The quality of your life is going to be a direct reflection of the standards you set for yourself. And you know, that brings us to the final and maybe the most important idea of all. After learning these 3 steps, the power to actually use them, well, that's entirely up to you. The choice is yours. Just think about that for a second. Look back at your last 5 years. If you don't make a conscious decision to change, your next 5 years are probably going to look pretty much the same. But that one word, unless, that is one of the most hopeful words there is. Unless you decide to change. Unless you apply what you've learned. Unless you make a new choice. This is so powerful because it shows you the choice you have in this very moment. Change isn't something that's way off in the future. You can decide right now to be a different person tomorrow. The only thing keeping you the same is your own choice to stay that way. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Not what you'll do someday, but what will you do starting tomorrow? What's one small action, one new discipline, one choice that you will make that's going to start steering your life in a new direction? It doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be a start. I really hope this framework gives you a clear path forward. If you found any value in this, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Wise Cut. And hey, speaking of that last question, let us know in the comments. What is the one thing you will do tomorrow to make a difference? We'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching.